I want to welcome Brian Miesieski, who's the Chief Marketing Officer, but also the Head of Marketing and Innovation for SweetWater Brewing Company.
I've been in the beer industry and marketing in the beer industry for 22 years now. So it's certainly been a fun ride. It's been an interesting ride. It's been a rocky ride in a lot of cases. But as you mentioned, been with SweetWater for a little over 7 years now. Originally from the New York area, moved down to the Southeast, Atlanta for the role. Not only just to sort of have a lifestyle change, but also really was chomping at the bit to get into the craft beer industry. It's something that I had followed along for quite some time, and it just, everything about it was really intriguing. In terms of the brand, in terms of the brewery, the culture, our products, the brands tied to those products, the events that we do, the marketing we do, really not a whole lot has changed at all. Mm-hmm. The company Tilray, which is now the largest cannabis company in the world, they're based in Canada, not fully in the US yet directly as a cannabis company for obvious reasons. But I think what they took to for us was, the brand that SweetWater is all about in our culture. So, our flagship beer, been around for almost 25 years, is 420. So that's an obvious innuendo. And our founder, Freddie Bench, when he grabbed that and created a beer, there was this culture that, that was sort of tied to that, right? And it's really not all about being directly, hey, we are, all about cannabis, we're craft beer. But it's about, that sort of 420 lifestyle that we talk about. It's good people, free spirits, having a good time at music events, festivals, camping. Make sure that you get into a field. So obviously, there's a field that people are getting into, hopefully because they feel like they can excel in that and be successful. So if you want to be a doctor, they love being a doctor. If you want to be a lawyer. But even if you're in those fields or industries, make sure you drill it down into something that you actually are passionate about. And I think that's really relevant for marketing. Positivity and optimism, that's something I think can, again, keep you fresh and excited about what you're doing as a job. It keeps your team engaged, your agency partners engaged if you're all striving ahead in a positive and optimistic way. But also that has to come through in your brands. You want consumers to see that positivity and optimism coming through in your brands. It's expanding so rapidly, more than ever before. We've been saying that this industry's been expanding for 15 years, more so for sure, but it just started doing that hockey stick 15 years ago, probably. And you'd think it would have slowed down at some point, but it's not. When I started at SweetWater 7 years ago, I believe there were about 4,000 breweries in the US, and now it's over 8,000. The consumer has a propensity to go for their local darling. So you're fighting local, you're trying to be local without being local. You're trying to be big, but not be big. Creativity side of the brain. That's where, me as a marketer, I really get jazzed about being creative, but not just the creativity in terms of fun ideas and doing cool things, but it's also about creating. So when you can create and develop something out of nothing and bring it to life and bring it new to world and see the fruits of your labor out in the world, that's really inspiring. I think lead from the front, lead by example, take the bullets if needed, particularly, for myself in my position with my team. If stuff is hitting the fan, they know that I'm at the front lines and I'll absorb that heat. Same for them and right on down the line. So, that instills teamwork and instills confidence. Another aspect I always like to say is be sales, not anchors. No one likes the person in the room that's just going to bring everybody down. Mm-hmm. Again, tied to that no bad ideas in a brainstorm mantra. Teamwork, positivity, optimism, always look to make something out of nothing. It's certainly be ready with backup plans. I love the Mike Tyson quote, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. So you've got to be able to stick and move, expect the unexpected and have a backup plan. I think a unique answer for you, but I'd have to say the Rolling Stones. You'd probably gather that I'm a huge fan of the Stones, but from a marketing standpoint, what you'd want from a brand, obviously, is longevity, but you think about they have not changed what they're all about for 60 years.